How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now, on today's show, we're going to be talking about last night's Premier League games. Only two, but I tell you something, there was a lot of talking points. Last piece of news involves Arsenal and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang because it looks like the club are ready to offer a massive new contract to keep him at the club.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right. So the first place we're going to start is last night's Premier League games, and we're going to go with the first game of the evening. Manchester United against West Ham. A lot of people were looking at this game and thinking, you know what, Manchester United, they're at Old Trafford. They're chasing down that Champions League spot, and West Ham, they're now safe in the Premier League. So it'd be a very easy game for Manchester United. Well, it was far from that, and it finished 1-1. And Manchester United will probably consider themselves quite fortunate because they did not play well at all. Now, West Ham, they took the lead, and the talking point in this was the penalty given to West Ham. Now, let's get this straight from the very beginning. It was a penalty, all right? Only the most deluded and blind Manchester United fans would say otherwise. The ball was struck towards Paul Pogba, and he literally put his hands up in front of his face. It wasn't even like it was close, or it was like from so far out the shot, and just inexcusably he just went like that and put his hands up. And I don't know which Manchester United player was right next to him, but he turned his back as well. And you're looking at that, and you know, if you're Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you're going to be sitting there going mad. You know, you want your players to put their bodies on the line. Take a whack in the face for the team. You know, you're fighting for a Champions League place. And Pogba's there putting his hands up like that. It's the clearest penalty you will ever see. I understand that people will say you're trying to protect your face. It's a natural reaction. But come on, man. It's a clear penalty. It's as simple as that. Mikel Antonio stuck that one away, and it makes a change that there was a penalty at Old Trafford and it wasn't for Manchester United. I also see an image as well where Bruno was in the box at the time of the West Ham penalty, and there's already some jokes going around saying that he actually thought it was for him, and then he was told to go away because it's West Ham's. But yeah, listen, second half you knew that Manchester United were going to come out a little bit better. Mason Greenwood continuing his fine form, equalises. But then it just kind of went flat. And I felt that in the last 20 minutes or so, Manchester United were kind of happy with a draw, to be honest. You're looking at the stats of the game. Manchester United had 57.3% of the possession. 11 shots on goal, only 4 on target. West Ham had 12 shots on goal, 3 on target. So they were well worthy of the point. On the balance of play, you probably got to say that a draw was fair on reflection. But West Ham, yeah, they could have nicked that. They could have got something out of it. And it's a good point for them, even though it doesn't really matter in terms of where they finish this season and relegation, because they're not in that battle no more. But Manchester United, what does that do for the Champions League places? Well, the funny thing about that is that it's actually taken Manchester United up to third place in the league. Chelsea are sitting fourth and Leicester are now in fifth. And the final game of the season promises to be a tense one, shall we say. Chelsea, now I'll get onto their result in a moment because they went to Anfield. They're going to be playing Wolves at Stamford Bridge, and they're currently on 63 points. Leicester are on 62 points, and Manchester United are also on 63. They're ahead of Chelsea by goal difference, and that's not going to swing around either because they're on plus 28. Chelsea are on plus 13. And Leicester, they're also on plus 28. Now, I was looking at this as well, and I was thinking to myself, right, if Chelsea lose to Wolves and Leicester and Manchester United play out a draw, then it would be Chelsea that miss out on the Champions League places. based on the fact that Leicester would have a better goal difference. They would both be on 63 points. Manchester United would be on 64. Leicester go and win. They are in the Champions League. But Manchester United could still lose and be in the Champions League if Chelsea don't win. If Manchester United lose, but Chelsea get at least a point, then it's Manchester United that miss out. It's going to be very, very interesting, that final game. Just like the relegation, I think that during the course of the afternoon, you're going to see the table like this going up and down. And, you know, one moment Manchester United could be in 5th and Leicester in 3rd. And then it all completely changes round. It's big stakes at both ends of the table when you're thinking Champions League football, what that means, what it could mean for the summer spending. Chelsea wouldn't want to miss out on Champions League football, not with the fact that they've just bought Ziyech and Werner, and they're looking at bringing in Kai Havertz. So can you imagine having all that and they've got to go into the Europa League? Crazy. And I can't wait to see that final game of the season and what actually happens on Sunday. Last game was Liverpool against Chelsea, and Liverpool are finally crowned Premier League champions. And first and foremost, fair play to them. They've been the best team in the league by an absolute mile. And I'll tell you something, I'm not one of these fans that overlooks everything and sees the problems at my own club. I know what's wrong at Arsenal. I know we've been poor. I know we're in 10th. I know that we've been dreadful. But it doesn't mean that I can mask over how far we are behind the likes of Liverpool. You know, the champions. That's where we want to be eventually. That's who we want to emulate and be in their position, you know, in a few years' time. And it's all well and good bantering, but we're a million miles away from Liverpool right now. Despite the fact that we beat them over the course of a season, 38 games, they are the deserved Premier League winners. It's as simple as that. So fair play to them. And this game, what a game. 5-3 to Liverpool. Liverpool actually went 3-0 up. Then it went 3-1. Then it went 3-2. Then it went 4-2. Then it went 4-3. Then it went 5-3. Keita, Trent Alexander-Arnold, brilliant free kick from him. Wijnaldum, Firmino, Oxlade-Chamberlain. For Chelsea, it was Olivier Giroud, Tammy Abraham and Pulisic. And what I'll say about Chelsea is that they've definitely got attacking players that can hurt you. Especially with the likes of Pulisic. And I'm looking ahead to the final. But the one thing that I will say about Chelsea is that you can score goals against them. You can attack them. You know, the last time we played Chelsea, we scored 2 goals with 10 men. You know, we do have to be careful in that final. But at the same time, we can score goals. They're not, you know, invincible. They're not an amazing defensive unit that you can't break down. You know, they haven't got a Virgil van Dijk, for example. They are susceptible to conceding goals. So when I look at that, I think, yeah, we do stand a chance. I think the game is kind of 50-50. Anything can happen in a final. It's going to be very, very interesting. But this one, yeah, like I said, Liverpool, 5-3 winners. And Chelsea, they're going to have to pull something out of the bag on the final game of the season against Wolves. I do think they'll do it. But they've left it very, very late, that's for sure. Last piece of news involves Arsenal, and reports yesterday were emerging that the club are ready to offer Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang a new £250,000 a week contract in a bid to keep him at the club, according to those reports. Aubameyang has 12 months remaining on his current deal, but Mikel Arteta is desperate to keep his top goal scorer as he considers him vital to making the club top 4 contenders once more. The report goes on to say that the Gunners are set to put their improved contract offer to the striker in the next few days, but must convince him they are willing to back Arteta in the transfer market. So it's pretty straightforward stuff and pretty much what we were saying all along. Aubameyang wants to see the intention of the club. He wants to see that they're going to back the manager. And if they, you know, can show that they're going to back Mikel Arteta, then Aubameyang will sign the contract. You look at what Mikel Arteta's saying already in his press conferences, and he's very confident that Aubameyang is going to sign a new contract. Aubameyang's happy in London. He's settled, you know, with his wife and his children. His family are very involved in everything that Aubameyang does. He's got a very, very close family. And they're happy, you know, with him in London, his father as well. And yeah, it's just down to the ambition now. Prove the ambition, show what we're going to do. Aubameyang signs the contract, and he can be at the forefront of the rebuilding process and what we want to do. And ultimately next season is to get back in the Champions League, first and foremost. And you build from there. That's your first step. You know, get back in the Champions League. You do that, then you build further. And within the space of 3-4 years, if you keep building, you get some luck along the way as well. You end up being like Liverpool, for example. Because that's the benchmark, and it's as simple as that, really. So, yeah, there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. Let me know what you think about this Aubameyang contract offer, 250 grand a week. It's well worth it when you think that we pay Mesut Ozil 350 grand a week, and all he's doing is selecting new skins on Fortnite. So, yeah, it is what it is. But loads of content coming out. I'm going to be looking forward to the last game of the Premier League season on Sunday against Watford. And then, yeah, then we're going to start preparing for the final. Can't wait for that one. But if you're new around there, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video. And I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.